The old guys still got it. Jared Cannonier just came back and knocked out Obama in the 4th round. Holy shit. I called it. I called it. To be fair, I wasn't using any kind of logic. It was just kind of a bit of a coin flip. I thought Rodrigues was the logical pick, but I just had a feeling he wouldn't really be good enough to deal with Cannonier. And I didn't even mention this. I didn't really think about it, but this was Rodrigues' first time going, or was supposed to be going to a 5th round, and he kind of emptied the tank in the first one and ended up gassing out. Cannonier capitalized. We'll get into it, but yeah, great comeback win for Cannonier. I think that Bahao fight was just a bit of a, obviously he did look a little bit worse for wear in that fight, and maybe he's still not quite the same guy he used to be, but he's still solid. He still belongs here. Overall, pretty good Apex card. Yeah, the early prelims were not the greatest to watch personally, but then as the card went on, it just got better and better. Main card was really entertaining, pretty solid. I seriously though, they keep talking about it. Can we please get out of the Apex? Please, it just ain't the same vibe, man. It's okay every once in a while. It was cool when it was during COVID and it saved the sport. Everyone was getting paid. And they also had much better fights in the Apex back then because they were all in the Apex. So you had title fights in there and shit. But yeah, seriously, it's 2025. Can we get out of here already? All right, so opening up the card, we had Julia Avila versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really that interested in this one going in. It pretty much went how I thought it would. Just, Cavalcanti just being slick operator on the feet. Avila kind of struggled to get much of anything going in this fight. She doesn't have the most power or anything. She's not putting too much of a weapon on people, but she's definitely a sniper. But yeah, kind of whatever. To a T. I said it in the prediction video. I did not understand why Dontel Mays was the favorite over Walter Walker. It's like the odds makers just watched Walker's first fight in the UFC and based it on that because, this is the same Walker that showed up last time. He's looking really good these days. He's in really good shape. Caught him in the same submission, actually. He's becoming a bit of a heel hook goblin in this division. Took him down pretty easily. Got the submission in the first round. Light work. So now Walter Walker's ranked. This will be interesting. I don't know how well he'll do, but I like him in there more than Dontel Mays. Yeah, I kind of, just whatever. I mean, I'm glad I got the pick right, but whatever. Vince Morales, Elijah Smith. Again, 3 for 3. We did. I think I got 4 wrong on this card, 8 right. We did pretty good on this one. It's been a little shaky starting on my YouTube channel with my picks, but did pretty good on this one. Vince Morales is certainly tough. I said he basically is good enough to lose competitive decisions, and he took that 3rd round, man. He started coming on Elijah Smith. And honestly, it was pretty close. It was pretty close. Smith obviously won, took the 1st and the 3rd. Morales had that 2nd round, and there were points in the 3rd where Morales was like syncing up submission attempts. It was a little hairy in there, and I kind of figured it would be like that. Luckily, Smith was able to get the win. He was able to fight through it, and I mentioned that we didn't know what his dog meter level was. Smith was forced to outdog Morales in this fight. This was a scrap. Fuck the point fighting, fuck the being smart. This was a scrap. Honestly, a pretty fun fight. Any of the mistakes Smith made, he's only 22, he's probably going to lose at some point in the UFC, but he's so young and he's has so much raw talent. He has time to sharpen his tools for sure. Vince Morales, man, sucks, bro. He never gets like his ass kicked. He always puts on a really good fight. He just can't win. He's just never able to do enough. They're probably going to cut him again, which sucks. It's unfortunate, but he's just losing everyone. It is what it is. Okay, I got this one wrong. The bigger Bonfim was able to submit Chaos Williams in the 2nd round. So yeah, I had Chaos Williams winning by knockout. I thought Gabriel Bonfim kind of gasses later in his fights and leaves his head kind of open. Chaos Williams hits like a bull. So it's kind of how I saw it happening. But I did say that if grappling was involved, Bonfim could sync up a submission, and that's what happened. I find a way to say things that end up coming true, but not actually picking them. So yeah, good win, Bonfim. Estevam Jesus Aguilar. Yeah, I got big brother a little bit. Estevam took the first 2 rounds. Aguilar took the 3rd. It was competitive. It was close. A lot of grappling, but Estevam was just too big. Bit of a big brothering situation. Kind of how I thought it would go. I don't really have much to say on this one. I don't really have too much to say on this one, I'm gonna be honest. This one was interesting. Razor close. Honestly, a really fun fight. I didn't tap this to be one of the better fights on the card. Maybe I should have. Angela Hill fights are usually pretty fun. Caitlin Souza hits hard. I do think, and I'm not just saying this because I picked her, because I know that sounds stupid, but I do think Souza maybe should have won this. It was a split decision. Angela Hill clearly took the 1st. Souza clearly took the 2nd. And then the 3rd was kind of just up in the air. Angela Hill had some control time, but Souza landed more damaging strikes, I think. And so there we go. If we're going by damage, I think Souza probably should have won this. But I'm not going to cry robbery. It was neck and neck. It was extremely close. One of those where even if one person probably should have won, it's so close that like really easy. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. Really fun scrap though. Angela Hill's still got it, man. There are a few of those on this card where we got some old dogs in there who can learn a few new tricks in the twilight of their careers. Good shit. Keep an eye out for Jose Delgado. This dude is special. Blasted Matthews with a pitch perfect right hand, followed up, got the TKO. Pretty good on the mic after. This dude's gonna be a star. I can see it. I can already see it. It's crazy how these divisions ebb and flow. Like at one point, featherweight was seen as kind of stale. I know we have Yusuf Zalal in the rankings. We got guys like this coming up. Featherweight's getting kind of exciting again, bro. I'm liking it. But yeah, great TKO. This dude, he's gonna fuck some people up on the way up. Go ahead and give him someone good, honestly. Well, okay, maybe I should, hold on. No, I was gonna say give him someone like right before the rankings. Don't do that. That's silly. That's stupid. That's foolish. Keep an eye out for this guy in the future. Opening up the main card, we had Rodolfo Vieira in a close fight with Andre Petroski. Had two grapplers who basically just struck with each other, and Petroski was able to get the better of him. I got this one wrong. Like, there are asterisks. Like, there are little, like, asterisks. I hate that word. The word's so fucking hard to say. There are little, like, you know, there are little caveats to the fights that I picked wrong on this one, but this one just no, straight up. Dead wrong. I thought Vieira would be better on the feet. I thought he'd hit harder. I thought he had the advantage in the grappling, but Petroski just, you know, won this pretty clearly. It was close. Good fight. Good scrap. We're slugging, but yeah. Good win, Petroski. Give him to Bo Nickel. I fucking knew this would happen. This fight, I just didn't like it one bit. Not that I didn't like the fight. Loved the fight. But I knew this would fucking happen. I knew whoever I picked, I would get it wrong. It was so close. But again, if we're talking about the caveats, this one, while Sadikov was getting the better of Bonfim, he was definitely coming into things. It ended very abruptly. TKO, doctor stoppage, and basically, I don't know if you guys remember the first time that Johnny Walker and Magomed Ankalaev fought, where it was like a language barrier that led to the fight being called off. He took an illegal knee. Fighter comes over, asks him, "Where are you?" And he says, "The desert," which he wasn't technically wrong. But yeah, the doctor saw that as him not being there mentally and called the fight off, and it was big uproar. I've never seen Johnny Walker that mad in my life. And this is a similar thing. Like, Bonfim said, yes, I'm good. I can see. And like, his eye wasn't swollen shut or anything. There wasn't blood leaking into it. I think it was just something, I believe the commentary said that he said going into the corner that he couldn't see to his coach or something, but he was saying as the doctor was asking him that he was fine. It was a very weird situation. I don't know what to make of it. I really wish it wasn't stopped there. Very unfortunate. This would have gone on to be a pretty good fight. Sadikov was winning though, and he probably would have won, which is annoying. And I feel like if I picked him, then Bonfim would have TKO'd him in the first round. This is just one of those that I mean, this should have been a pick'em, to be honest with you. Minus 218 plus 180, that's not a huge margin, but that should have been a pick. Sadikov's good. Yeah, it's tough for Bonfim, bro. That sucks. Unfortunate. Yep, Edmund Shabazian, another first round KO against a guy who can't grapple. It's kind of like, you know, the whole Kevin Holland situation where Shabazian is really dangerous on the feet and he can have these explosive wins. He's also like an apex god. He wins in the apex a lot. When he wins dominantly. When he loses dominantly. It's really unfortunate. We're beginning to realize where we know where Edmund Shabazian is. He can get better. He's still young, but right now it seems like he can only beat guys like this. I never rated Dylan Budka that much. This seemed like a bit of a free win for Shabazian. Great knockout. The dude hits like a truck. I just wish he could defend takedowns. He could be such a problem. You know what they could do if they want to? They should do Shabazian versus, you know what would be kind of fun? Shabazian versus Shara Bullet, striker versus striker matchup, speed versus power. That could be fun. I actually think Shara would win that fight, but I don't know, man. I'm not really interested in seeing Shabazian go in and get grappled to death by someone and it being a foregone conclusion. And I think Shabazian has enough mileage in the cage that he deserves a fun fight, especially coming off a TKO win. He's definitely good enough to be here. He's just maybe not good enough to be elite. Not even maybe. I don't think he is. Yeah, do the Shara Bullet fight. The UFC is probably going to cut Dylan Budka, which sucks for him, but he's done nothing but lose, nothing but get knocked out. They're probably going to cut him. That sucks. Had the co-main, Calvin Kattar versus Yusuf Zalal. Turns out we did get stuck in the mud Calvin Kattar in those first two rounds. Yusuf was piecing him up. It seemed, I saw someone already make the Israel Adesanya comparison, like on the back foot, skirting out the way. Zalal looked really slick. He was gliding around. My cat is on me. And Kattar was, you know, the one going forward, but he just wasn't really throwing anything. I said in the prediction video that I thought Kattar would be more game because, you know, Yusuf doesn't have necessarily a grappling advantage or a power advantage. advantage. I would say Kattar actually has the power advantage. But Yusuf just played it super technical and safe and got out the way. And it wasn't like, I saw people crying about this one online. I don't think it was that bad. I don't think they were saying he was running away. Maybe in the third round. In the third round, when Kattar was stepping on the gas, he won that round, by the way. He was walking him down. He was landing shots. Aggressive Calvin Kattar feeds families, bro. I don't know. Oh man, I wish he started earlier. Not because I wanted him to win or anything. I mean, I didn't really have a stake in this fight, but it would have made for a better fight maybe, because the third round was pretty exciting. The first two were, you know, a little, again, I don't think it was bad. Good win for Zalal. Super technical, very smart. He's so much better than he was on his first UFC run. It's actually insane. Going on like a 3 or 4 fight skid, getting cut, coming back on just a crazy run the last 4 fights. And Calvin Kattar may be a little over the hill. He's not quite the same guy, but still great win for Zalal. I love him being in the top 10. Featherweight is just genuinely looking pretty good these days. We're getting there. We're getting there. There are actually a lot of parallels between featherweight and middleweight, to be honest, where like the longest time you have a dominant champ and a dominant number 2 guy who always loses to the champ. And until like Sean Strickland and Dricus up at 185, Topuria down at 145 came along and shook things up. It's started to get a little bit like, okay, we're running out of contenders here, but these divisions always find a way to work themselves out. I really love having Zalal here. I hope he can get another win. That Topuria rematch is very interesting. I still think Topuria beats him again, but I still want to see it. It's always interesting when you have 2 fighters who fought back when they were younger and greener and not as good, and they have an opportunity to fight when they're in their primes. That would be fucking awesome. Tough for Calvin Kattar, bro. He's still good. You know, he's not that old. Maybe not in his prime anymore. It especially sucks because when you look at his record without taking any of the context, it looks like he's on this horrible skid, and he is. But one of them was a weird fluky injury. One was a split decision, which I do think he lost. But some people thought he won. A lot of people thought he won. And the last 2 are more so kind of skill based, you know, so he's definitely not as good as he used to be. It's just a sticky situation to be in. It's unfortunate. Probably gonna have to go for another up and comer, get back in the good graces to get back on the right track. I hope he doesn't retire, man. That would be really unfortunate. Calvin Kattar is fucking fun, man. He's underrated. One of the more underrated fighters at 145 for sure. I was tempted to come on here and gloat about this fucking head ass pick that I had. No one was picking Cannonier. I mean, maybe some people were, but generally people were going with Rodrigues. Cannonier's been looking old. Rodrigues is good everywhere, and he's built like a fucking skyscraper, and he hits really hard. Cannonier's got pieced up and rocked to finish the fight before that. It was kind of fluky, but whatever. Rodrigues was the logical pick. He had all the attributes. He had the momentum. He had all that. He's literally built like a heavyweight. It's obscene that he can make this weight class. But I just felt like Jared Cannonier would win. And I don't know why. Even if I didn't say it because I was being a fucking buffoon, I do think that he's better on the feet with the striking. Rodrigues was lighting him up in the first round, sure, but broadly speaking, I always thought Jared Cannonier was the better striker of the 2. And I did kind of think if he could weather an early storm from Rodrigues, he'd be able to either get the finish or take the decision. I didn't say that in the video because I was being goofy. But yeah, in the back of my mind, that's why, despite the fact that I shouldn't have picked him, I'm glad I did because he got the win. Great win for Jared Cannonier. Basically, the way this worked, Rodrigues kind of beat his ass in that first round. In the next 2 rounds, Cannonier slowly started to take over. And then by the end of the third round, he rocks the shit out of Rodrigues. Like, if saved by the bell, he was going to finish him there. They go back to the corners, they come back in, 20 seconds in. That's it. And not only was it like a nasty KO, it was like a really clean combination too, like head, body, straights, hooks. It was a really, it was one of Cannonier's cooler looking finishes that we've had in a while. Great win, great comeback for Jared Cannonier. This dude is a stud. Who do you give him next? I don't know because he's already lost to like, well, he's lost to Izzy, he's lost to Strickland, he's lost to Imavov, he's lost to Bahalio. Unfortunately, despite the fact that he has a win, he probably has to fight someone else coming up. I think if he gets another win off an up-and-comer, then looking ahead would be a little more reasonable. Might be able to get some of those rematches, get his own back. I would personally much prefer seeing some fresh matchups than some rematches that I don't know if I'd want to pick him against the guys that already, you know, beat him pretty badly. Strickland, maybe? That fight was very close. I know on paper he beat Strickland, but Strickland probably should have won that fight, to clarify. But yeah, it sucks for the guy. He's a veteran. He's been here so long. So many main events, so many great fights. Seems like a really swell guy. I hate that he would have to do this again, fight another big, scary dude coming down, 10 years younger than him, KO power. But it's healthy for the division. It's what we got to do. So yeah, all right, that was my recap for the UFC Fight Night Cannonier versus Rodrigues Apex card. Again, it was pretty good. Good job, Jared Cannonier. But please, for the love of all that is good and holy, can we get out of this fucking prison? No more Apex. No more. It's boring. It's so boring. We need to get out of there. It is a need. Anyway, see you guys.